Apologies for, really, it was out of our control, in all honesty. We appreciate the diligent work from the Pinnacle Bank Arena staff, getting us reconnected, getting us power supply. We just lost power at our entire table. So, once again, we appreciate them. We appreciate you guys. Glad that it did finish by a wider margin. It was not a close game. That would have been real bad. But then also, Papillion La Vista South wins 76-58. So, they punched their ticket to the Class A semifinals, where they will await the winner of our next game. But here today between Millard North and Bellevue West. And Jay Foreman, this is a matchup where we're used to seeing these two schools square off for a title. Yeah. They still are technically, but much earlier in the tournament than what we're accustomed to.
Yeah, usually they're playing Saturday night, and they've been playing all summer and all fall in the high school league, and they're meeting up in the championship. Now they're playing in the first round, and it's just a different way of how they've had to do it, right? It's usually Bellevue West finding a way to beat Millard North after Hunter Salas and those guys live kind of gutting it out, right? Yeah. And even up to last year, right? But now with Millard North, has their time, kind of went through the trials and tribulations. Obviously, they're led by Coach Etzmiller, and then obviously Derek Rollins is their big-time player. Versus where you look at Coach Steve Klein, won a title in his first year, which is last year, following the legendary coach. And then, having to do it with players are inexperienced and younger, but you got Robbie Garcia that's really stepped up into that senior alpha dog role. And so it's a different way that they've gotten here, but they're both here. Now, playing this is, you talk about Papillion La Vista South playing Papio in the first round. Yeah. They know each other. You got kind of in this bracket three of the 8 teams that are odds-on favorite. Millard North, you just always can't count out Bellevue West and Papillion La Vista South. And so you're going to get high-quality basketball, obviously today in this first afternoon session, and then obviously come Friday in the semifinals.
These are schools that have, you go up and down the list, and current D1 alumni playing in college basketball, playing some important games right now, but then ones that are right now probably supporting here as well. You look at some of the players that went through each program. Bellevue West, obviously, it starts with Chucky Hepburn, right? Everybody knows him. Everybody, if you're a college basketball fan in general, you know the name Chucky Hepburn. Just got mentioned to the All-ACC defensive team as well. And then for Millard North, it's Hunter Salas, it's St. Thomas. It goes down the list of incredible talents that have went through these two programs. They've transitioned from old head coaches who are legends, but then now new head coaches. Right. But the dynasty and the success hasn't changed.
There's one thing that everybody's talking about: expectations. That's I don't believe in expectations. Yeah. They have taken over places that have standards, and you know what? All these young kids out here playing, they knew the standard before they came to those high schools, and then the coaches have upheld it. And that's how you reload instead of rebuild. Everybody thinks when you have whether it's Tom Cannon and obviously here at Millard North, he's a legendary coach, or the coach that was at Bellevue West. You can't let it fall off. Yeah, it's almost a harder job, right? Where you have to follow some legendary coaches in Nebraska high school sports history, football, basketball, or anything. And Ed Smiler and Coach Klein have done a really good job.
Let's get you rolling first for the starting lineups for the 4-seeded Millard North Mustangs. They come in with a record of 18-6. They knocked out Millard South in the district final matchup. 18-6 on the year, I mentioned. No stranger to the state tournament. 14th state tournament appearance in school history. They were Class A state champions in 21 and 2022. They were runner-up, though, in 2020, 2023, and 2024. So that tells you, hey, guess what? 5 straight years they've been in the state championship game. 2 wins, 3 runner-up appearances, but still have certainly been there. They're starting out for head coach Michael Etzel-Miller, a 6'6 junior averaging 10.5 a game. Major Mosser, number 3, a 5'11 junior averaging 12 points a game. Corian Gallatin, number 11, a 6'1 senior. Amari Rahaman, number 32, a 6'8 senior. Deacon Courtney, and rounding out the starting 5, averaging over 20 a game and 10 rebounds a contest. Number 23, a 6'5 senior, Derek Rollins.
Yeah, it's going to be Derek Rollins against Robbie Garcia. It seems like they've been playing varsity ever since they've been in 8th grade. They got to get after it. Both of them are essentially, 20 and 10 guys, and they've, whereas Robbie Garcia he's always kind of being maybe a subordinate role, like a secondary role. Now he's the lead dog, and he's done a really good job. Bringing a couple sophomores and a junior to the state championship, where you got Derek Rollins, a more seasoned unit, along with Major Mosser, has been starting and playing varsity for quite some time. And so, I think it's going to be whoever plays better out of those two, but whatever supporting cast comes to play. Now, what you also got to think, you got some familiar names out there. You got Coyer, right? We remember watching his sister from a couple years ago.
Danielle.
And, putting in work, and here's the little brother. And then you got somebody like Carson Schultz. I'm telling you about Carson Schultz. I know him very well. 6 foot. He can play. He's a 3-level scorer. He's tough as nails. He will defend. But more importantly, 2 sophomores, Bryce Johnson, Braden Morrow. They will not back down. Johnson averaging 14. Morrow averaging 10, pretty much 11 points. I'm telling you, these 2 dudes are impressive. Cool, calm, and collective. Steve Klein is coached them, mentored them through the kind of the trials and tribulations, learn how to play Class A basketball, and they've met the challenge, wholeheartedly.
It's been a day that's somewhat flown on by. We're already halfway through our day one coverage of state boys basketball here on 93.7 The Ticket, and we are underway here in this one. Bellevue West wearing the black unis as they work right to left, the basket to our left, that is, and here is Bryce Johnson with the basketball on the right side, wearing number 3 for Bellevue West as the T-Birds give it to Robbie Garcia. Garcia with it near the logo, 7:38 to go as we are underway in the first quarter. Good find down low. Coyer layup in the lane. No good. Off back iron. Rebounds tipped around and controlled by Rahman of Millard North as he brings it across the timeline. 7:27 to go first quarter. Here for it is Gallatin. Gallatin passes right side to Mosser. Mosser overhead pass back to Gallahan. Galligan to the left side. Mosser down low on the elbow. Now pass deflected, taken away. Here comes Bellevue West in transition. 3-on-3 as Millard North retreats back to get on defense. Missing the layup is Bryce Johnson, and Millard North cleans the glass. Quickly up the floor, Derek Rollins in the lane. Layup good, and Derek Rollins gets the scoring started 2-0.
It's going to be back and forth, and I know Steve Klein is like, man, we wish we had 2 easy opportunities, but when you have a young team that hasn't been out here, you just want them to get good looks so he knows the ball will go in the hoop.
At the top of the key, here, 3-point opportunity for Bellevue West, and draining it is number 5, Braden Morrow, the sophomore, 5'11", that averages 10.5 a game, puts Bell West up 1.
Yeah, one thing Bellevue West can always depend on is buying in on defense, and that's what they've done here the first couple possessions. And, I think they know this team very well as far as, the Millard North Mustangs, and they know exactly what they're trying to do. But Steve Klein, knowing what it takes to be in a championship, knowing how to get these players ready to go. And you got 2 young guys. I always say this, Nick, they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah. Inside, here's Robbie Garcia in the lane. Good, and it's 5-2, Bellevue West.
A little bit of a quirky move there by Garcia, kind of a little fadeaway jump hook, left hand. Big-time play there.
Here, left side, it is Gallatin. Gallatin for Millard North with the basketball. 6:03 to play first quarter. Now Mosser has it for the Millard North Mustangs at the top of the key. Pass down low. Rollins working on Coyer. The layup is no good, and they're going to call a traveling violation on Derek Rollins.
Yeah, a little bit of a hesitation dribble, extra kind of a little bit step. Derek Rollins didn't like it. I know Coach Miller didn't like it as well. Travel, unforced error for the Mustangs. Now, listen here. When you're playing against the young teams, you'll go on runs. They'll go on runs. Then you'll settle in, and then it's going to come down to who makes the least mistakes as possible. 3-pointer
on the way from Morrow. He's unable to hit that second one, and now up the floor comes Gallatin. Gallatin with the basketball. He gives it to Rollins on the left wing. He now fakes the handoff to Mosser. Nobody's there to help him out. Gets it to the elbow. Here is Rahman. Nobody stops ball, and he dribbles in, hits the floater, and it's 5-4.
Yeah, right there. He'll take it there. Rahman, a really good job of playing with patience. They kind of left him wide open. He took the floater there. 2 points.
And back here we go with number 3. This is Bryce Johnson. Johnson working on the taller defender of Courtney. Deacon Courtney defending him. Johnson beats him off the dribble and is fouled from behind as he was able to get in front of and past Deacon Courtney, the defender for Millard North, and draw the foul.
Yeah, the 6'8" senior, not as fleet of foot as Johnson. Johnson did a really good job of hesitation dribble, then got up to a shot, kind of cradled it, got into the body. No choice but to call the shooting foul.
So here, 2 free throws for Bryce Johnson as he misses that first one. One thing we did not get to point out in the game that we just called because of lost connection is Papillion La Vista South was perfect from the free throw line. 12 for 12 on free throws. That is, something that certainly wins you ball games in one possession scores.
It wins you ball games, and it's obviously travel. So if they ever need to come back in the game or extend the lead, you saw it firsthand. They're hard to beat under pressure.
6-4 is your score. 5:02 to play in the first quarter. Bellevue West out in front of Millard North. Here's Millard North for the lead on a three-point attempt by Rahman is no good, and Robbie Garcia cleans the glass for Bellevue West. Here comes Robbie Garcia at the top of the key, guarded by Rahman, a big guy that can handle the ball decently well. That's Robbie Garcia for Bellevue West. A lot of varsity experience. Robbie Garcia crossing over. Bryce Johnson with the basketball, looking for help, throws it far side, and has his toes on the sideline. Was number 4, that is Melcher for Bellevue West.
Good job there by Derek Rollins, moving his feet and forcing Johnson to an unforced error. I like the pass, though, right? Left-handed. You know, one thing is Melcher was there. He kind of dropped to the corner. Just a tick of the twine out there on the out of bounds.
Major Mosser for 3. No good, but an offensive rebound for Derek Rollins. Another chance on it by Gallatin as he drains it.
Good job of Corey and Gallatin right there. Essentially, that's an offensive rebound, open 3. Cash money for the junior.
It is 7-6, Millard North. Bellevue West with the basketball on the left side. Bryce Johnson trying to answer with a 3 of his own. He airballs it, and it will go out of bounds. Last touched on the shot by Bryce Johnson of Bellevue West, and Millard North student section letting them hear it.
Yeah, you know what? Bryce Johnson wanted to answer it, and that's one thing Coach Klein just said. He said, let's just move it. We can get that anytime. And, you know, when you have a really good player like Bryce Johnson, you got a lot of trust in him.
Here, top of the key, it's Gallatin. Gallatin with the basketball, throws it down to Derek Rollins. He'll fire the 3 on the way from deep range. Can't get it to fall. Rebound fought for, and Deacon Courtney gets the offensive board. Now underneath, Rahman. It gets the layup to fall for Millard North.
Yeah, well, you know, Millard North right now is making a lot of money on offensive rebounds, open 3s, backdoor cuts. Steve Klein has just got to play through it. I've seen this before from him. He's very patient with this team. Yeah. It's a unique coaching job that he has. He's going to bring back Carson Schultz and Coyer here, a little bit more seasoned player to get this game but more under control.
Rahman just stole the basketball and took it for a layup. It's now 11-6, Millard North, as Bellevue West still trying to settle in comfortably on offense. On the left side, here it is, Morrow. Braden Morrow with the basketball. He throws it out to the left side now. Working is Robbie Garcia, a couple jab steps, dribbles behind the back. Robbie Garcia kicks it back out. 11 still on the possession as Bellevue West starts to get sped up. Here's Robbie Garcia driving baseline. May have gotten away with a push. No, he did not get away with it. He's going to get called for an offensive foul.
Oh, Bellevue West Thunderbird fans don't like that. Neither does Stephen Klein. A little bit of a flop. It's a little bit nature versus nurture. Garcia against Rahman. Sold it real good. Nevertheless, it was called. And, you know, here's right now where, you know, Steve Klein is very comfortable in this situation. When you're able to have kids invest in defense and you go on a 2-minute and 15 scoring drought on yourself, 7-0 run, you know your defense will get you more chances. You know they'll settle in eventually.
Here on the right side for Millard North, now top of the key. Here it is with Millard North as they throw it out of bounds. It'll be Bellevue West basketball. Checking into the game for Millard North, Lance Smith, number 5, the 6'1" junior.
Yeah, you know, one thing is interesting is that, you know, you have Morrow out here. You have Melcher, freshman, Coyer, sophomore. You haven't seen this usually from these two, right? Chambers right here, 33, sophomore. The youth and the development of these two programs are on display.
Here is Schultz on the right side now to Braden Morrow for Bellevue West. 2 minutes, 19 seconds to go, first quarter, as that pass deflected, save from going out of bounds. Good job there by Derek Rollins, saving it into Lance Smith. Now his pass taken away, poked away from behind. Bodies running down the floor trying to save that basketball, but it will be Bellevue West basketball. I was going to say the initial call was Millard North basketball, but I thought there's no way that there was. Well, there
was a way.
There is a way.
Override right here.
That's right. Thank you.
You know, really, it was a good job there by Smith of kind of knocking it back out, but it actually wasn't. It gave Bellevue West 32 seconds with the ball at their side of the hoop.
Here in the lane, it's Coyer down low. Johnson kicks it out. 3-ball on the way. No good on the attempt by Melcher for Bellevue West, and it's still 11-6. Millard North with a 5-point lead. Millard North with the basketball to Mosser. He fires the long 3. And he absolutely splashes it.
Yeah, that's what he's done, just like his brother. Deep threes, consistent shooting. He's got his brother in attendance. Great shot there by Mosser.
So Mosser drains the three. It's going to be 1 minute and 47 seconds to go in the first quarter. 14-6 is your score. Bellevue West called a 30-second timeout. So we'll go ahead and keep it right here for the time being. As just a reminder, after this one, we'll have an extended break. But then later on this evening, around 6 p.m., we will have Omaha West Side against Lincoln Southwest. And then in the nightcap, it's Lincoln North Star against Lincoln Southeast. So you have the rematch of a district final that allowed Lincoln Southwest to get to the state tournament to begin with. They went on the road and beat West Side in the district final. And then you have a matchup of two capital city squads, Lincoln North Star and Lincoln Southeast at 7:45.
Yeah, this is great basketball. It's up for grabs, it seems like, because it always was one of these two programs.
Yep.
Anybody can win it this year.
Here in the far side, it's Robbie Garcia. With Bell West down by 8, they have the basketball, 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Three-pointer on the way. Robbie Garcia circled the cylinder and did not go down. It's going to be rebounded by Derek Rollins. Here comes Millard North. Bounce pass inside, free throw line jumper. Mosser drains it.
Yeah, the 6'6" junior, man, he's really added some things to his game, moving without the ball in the mid-range, because this is a family history of shooting threes.
Here on the far right side, it's Bryce Johnson. Now to number 22. This is Schultz. Schultz with the basketball for Bell West, down by 10. We've seen this pretty much every single game. There's one team that starts out fast as Bryce Johnson unable to hit a layup. I'm not sure how that did not fall, but here comes Millard North as they're up by 10. 56 seconds to go in the first quarter. Rollins, left side to Gallatin. Gallatin with the basketball, crossing over a couple of times, throws it down low to Chambers. Chambers working on Schultz. Down low, the layup is good. Steve Klein is wondering how that wasn't an offensive foul, because he saw Robbie Garcia get called for a similar play on the other end. Here in the lane, it's Coyer. The layup, no good. And the rebound corralled by Millard North. Here we go. Millard North crossing the timeline. Steve Klein still giving him a piece of his mind. The referee on that far side as they're conversating about why that wasn't an offensive foul just a moment ago. The shot clock is dark. 17 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's 18-6. Millard North with a 12-point lead as that is Chambers. Left side, Mosser wide open three. Missed it. Off back iron. Offensive rebound. Now they're going to have a makeup call on the rebound attempt by Derek Rollins. They're going to get him for over the back.
Yeah, you know, one thing about it, you got Carson Schultz against Derek Rollins. There's a significant height difference, and actually that probably wasn't as egregious as the one before. But, yes, it was a makeup call. But ultimately, you got Johnson and Smith mixing up. I don't know what Smith was doing. That's probably a tackle for loss in college football. He's wondering why it was a foul. I think it's one of those things. Yeah, and Coach Esmiller is he's keeping him in the game. But they're trying to put the dagger in the heart against Bellevue West right now, and they smell a little bit of blood in the water. But I think these guys from Bellevue West are going to compete.
Here's Bryce Johnson, kicks it out, 3-ball on the way at the horn, unable to go, and that will do it for the end of the first quarter. Your score: Millard North 18. Bellevue West 6. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the start of the second quarter right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Just underway here in the second quarter of play as Millard North leads it comfortably 18-6 over Bell West. Jay, if you're Bell West, as Gallatin passes back to Mosser on the left side. You got to get something going offensively.
Right.
You shot in that first quarter just 18% from the field, 2 of 11. That's unlike Bell West.
Well, they had opportunities, missed a couple bunnies, and obviously missed a couple threes, and maybe unforced errors right there. You got defensive breakdowns. Obviously, that's a byproduct of the lack of offense. Coach Klein wants them to play with a better pace, play fast, not in a hurry. They just got to make some shots, and once they start making some shots, they'll get some defensive pressure going.
20-6 is your score. Cross-court pass up the right side. Here it is. As that one deflected out of bounds, it'll stay with Bell West. 7:12 to go in the second quarter, and a trio of fresh bodies come in for Millard North.
And you see this right now, Coach Edson Miller. I think he learned from the past, both as a head coach last year in the championship game and assistant coach, obviously under Tom Cannon. Depth matters early in this tournament. Get guys in because you never know when you might need them. 7
minutes and 8 seconds to go in the second quarter. Here is Bell West in the center of the lane. The floater on the way is good on the shot by Braden Morrow. Good shot there by number 5 in black.
Yeah, he's a nice little player. Plays with good demeanor. Got a good inside-outside game. A tough kid too, so he's good to look for in the future.
So here on the top of the key, it's Rahman. Now right side to Derek Rollins. Back to Rahman. He has it at the elbow. Spin move gets doubled. Now gets picked up. Pass inside to Courtney. Shot in the lane is no good. They were letting him play all the way up until that shot. There was a lot of physicality prior to him going up with that basketball.
Yeah, it kind of went from an almost good jump ball call to, a foul on the shot. So, Bellevue West right now is a smaller team. You got to think everybody that Coach Klein has brought in, or Steve Klein, has been a guard or guard size or even smaller than that, where you got Coyer, who's a barely 6'1", playing against Derek Rollins at times, and you got Robbie Garcia. So I think unlike most years, where you had a Roop and obviously Garcia was actually a small forward at times, where,
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Take a big step toward your dream career and apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Doane University, we build leaders. And that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," you want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family. And you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking all the top brands, including Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Manitow pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership, plus score big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has it all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location, and they can't wait to get you set up for the summer.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies with light winds. An afternoon high around 73. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover and cold winds, a low around 40. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm with an afternoon high near 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Lecter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In today's digital world, you can never be too cautious when it comes to your security. Cyber attacks are affecting more businesses every day. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we understand the stress and impact a cyber attack can have, not just on your bottom line, but on your ability to serve your customers and protect their trust. That's why we are passionate about safeguarding your business. From real-time threat monitoring to advanced security protocols, we help keep your data safe, allowing you to focus on what matters most. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hey, bestie! Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchased from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, personal banking like you remember.
Hi, this is Chris Elgert, loan originator at Lincoln Federal. I know that buying a home is one of the most important decisions a person will make in their lifetime. That's why you need an experienced loan professional to explain all the options available, to answer all your questions, and to make the home buying process a rewarding experience. Talk with me and discover why Lincoln Federal is personal banking like you remember. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Well, hi, everybody. I was not expecting to talk to you again, and we certainly weren't expecting to have the same issue we had earlier in the day. Sounds like there's an issue going on technologically at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Not our equipment. Our equipment seems to be fine, but there's an issue with one of the power strips or some such there at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The staff down there is currently working on rectifying and remedying that issue. So until then, we will give you a scoreboard from high school hoops and college hoops, and we will get you back out to Class A state basketball as soon as we can. We were in the second quarter of Millard North and Bellevue West when the interruption happened. Sounds like the staff down at Pinnacle Bank Arena is working on it or is at least aware of the issue, and we will send you back out there for Class A basketball as soon as we can. Thanks to all our wonderful sponsors for high school basketball here on 93.7 The Ticket. You made last week at girls state basketball a success, and this week off to a rough start technologically, but the basketball action is certainly good. We'll run through the high school scoreboard and the college scoreboard here. Games we've seen at Pinnacle Bank Arena. First game of the day, Johnson Brock defeated Elmwood Murdoch in the 1-8 game in Class D1. Johnson Brock now 2 wins away from their 3rd consecutive Class D1 state title. Johnson Brock wins at 73-32. Second game of the day, you heard right here on these airwaves, McCool Junction and Elm Creek in the 4-5. It was McCool Junction 65-34. Mustangs would end up doubling up Elm Creek at one point there, but Elm Creek makes it a little more respectable at the end. Over in Pinnacle Bank Arena as well, first Class A game you heard was Papillion La Vista South over Papillion La Vista in city rivalry, in town rivalry, cross town, wherever you want to say that. 76-58. Papio South ends up taking down Papillion La Vista. Over at Devaney, we are about 3/4 of the way through the C1 bracket. First game of the day saw my Warriors, Lincoln Lutheran, take down Fillmore Central 64-26. Then it sets up a rematch with Ashland Greenwood as the Blue Jays take down Cozad 60-45 in game 2 of the day. And then in game 3, we just saw Donovan Trumbull come from behind, get revenge for a regular season loss to number 2 Ogallala. So Donovan Trumbull wins it by a dozen, 57-45. The 7 seed, Donovan Trumbull, awaits the winner of Concordia and Sydney. That game underway at Devaney right now. Let's run through some college basketball scores as well. We're just going to bounce around here just according to the ESPN scoreboard, mostly in chronological order, more so than any sort of conference order. Iowa State takes down Cincinnati 76-56. The Cyclones were off yesterday. Cincinnati got a win. Iowa State, one of the most dangerous teams in the country when everybody is healthy. They scuffled a little bit late in one of the toughest conferences in college basketball with only a 13-7 conference record. If everyone is healthy, Iowa State is not just a second weekend, but a third weekend contender. We'll have to see if the Cyclones can round back into form with their full complement of players. It was Davidson taking down Richmond 69-65, ending a blah year for the Spiders. Davidson lives to fight another day in the Atlantic 10. Georgia Tech took down Virginia in the 8-9 game in the ACC tournament, 66-60. It was the Bees over the Who's. Georgia Tech's reward for winning in the first round, a date with number 1 overall seed and number 1 in the AP Top 25, Duke Blue Devils. Charlotte takes down Rice 64-61. And game of the day probably was Arkansas against South Carolina. Arkansas was up 17 points at half. South Carolina made a furious comeback. They got it within at least 2, maybe even within 1 point. But down the stretch, the Gamecocks falter. Arkansas survives. They escape. The Gamecocks of South Carolina, who had put Arkansas in the torture chamber in a game played not long ago. Arkansas had one of the worst shooting halves I think we will ever witness. I'm trying to get the stats pulled up here because it was some absolutely legendary offense by the Razorbacks. I got rid of the bookmark, but it was pretty atrocious. Let me see if I can pull the game up here from the schedule. So Arkansas ended up losing the game in the end of the regular season. It was 72-53. The stats weren't very pretty. Arkansas shoots just 15 of 52 overall, whereas South Carolina was 25 of 53. The Hogs went 3 of 22 from long range, not like South Carolina was much better at 5 of 14. Arkansas did end up getting 20 points at the free throw line where they were 20 of 27. They were out rebounded. They were out assisted. They had more turnovers than South Carolina did in that game. But I believe that the stat was that Arkansas was shooting approximately 17% in the first half. That was certainly not what the Hogs drew up, but they do get their revenge in the SEC tournament here today. They are on to the second round. The Fighting Tim Miles get it done, 66-61. Coacher and the Aztecs, or not the Aztecs, the Spartans. Sorry, I was looking ahead. The Spartans take down the Cowboys of Wyoming. So Tim Miles, 66-61 over Wyoming. Grambling and Southern had one of the wackiest endings you will ever see to a game to force overtime, but it was the 8th-seeded Rambling Wreck from Grambling, taking down the number 1 seed in the SWAC, Southern, to advance to the semifinals. Grambling's just 12-21 overall, 7-11 in the SWAC. Southern was 15-3 before that loss to Grambling. So how about that? An 8-1 upset there in the Southwest Athletic Conference. In a battle of the Rams, it was the Rams taking down the Rams. Sorry, that's not funny. Fordham takes down Rhode Island 88-71 in a game that Fordham, just 3-15 in the A-10, really controlled from the tip. Of course, Rhode Island was the destination for former Nebraska point guard Jamarcus Lawrence. He was saddled with foul trouble in the first half. He picked up 3 in about the game's first 10 minutes. I only know that because I turned on the game and I did not see Jamarcus Lawrence for a second before I ended up switching away. So Jamarcus Lawrence, 4 points in a 17-point defeat in the 10-15 game in the Atlantic 10. Rhode Island season sure ought to be done. Then the other game Cubskers texting me about here is the North Carolina Tar Heels taking down Notre Dame. That is really all we have to say on that game. Convenient timing because Nick Sainer and Jay Foreman are reconnected. We'll go to break, send you back out to Pinnacle Bank Arena here in just a moment.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings and 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Take a big step toward your dream career and apply today at doan.edu/apply.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back into Pinnacle Bank Arena. That is right. We are here as we're going through the rigmarole with some power cords and outlets. I promise, I can guarantee it. Jay can attest to it. Nothing involving anything that we can control, Jay Foreman. They had to bring out a whole new power strip. We are connected to an entire new circuit, I suppose is what they called it.
Yeah.
And so we are ready to go. We had no problems last week. Now here in the span of about 30 minutes, we have 2 problems with connection, and we're ready to go. They assured us that this should work. We apologize, but we're back. At the half, though, 31-19 is your score. Millard North leads Bellevue West by 12. We're still in the middle of halftime, though, so that's the good news. But 31-19 at the break right now. Millard North leads Bellevue West. Let's kind of recap what we saw in the first quarter. Derek Rollins leads the way for Millard North with 8 rebounds, but Major Mosser leads the way with points in double figures. He has 10 points, but Millard North's doing it all over the place. They're having guards help out. They're having big people help out. Bellevue West struggling to find that consistent option.
Yeah, Robbie Garcia hasn't really got off yet, right? And I think he's been nullified because they've really clamped down on him and forced and put the pressure on Johnson, Melcher, Morrow, and all those guys, and obviously, Carson as well. And so it hasn't worked out well for Bellevue West. They've played decent defensively, but they've had a couple busted coverages, which allowed Millard North to get some easy points. And Millard North has really killed them on the offensive rebounds. They have 5 offensive rebounds to Bellevue West's 0, and Bellevue West has not shot it good from the 3, 2 of 10. And when you're down, even though Millard North isn't hitting at the clip that they'd like, you're not getting any easy 2-point buckets. Now, what I will say for Coach Steve Klein at halftime, all I'm saying is, look, we've gotten good opportunities. We've had shots close. We've had bunnies. We've had an ability to get, kind of scheme up some things and call some plays and some actions to get some good shots. We just got to make some shots. And you're going to have to find ways versus in the initial or secondary option to get Robbie Garcia going, because I think he provides a level of physicality. And then I also think that, you might need to work inside out with Robbie Garcia. I'm doing like that, where you want Johnson, Melcher, Morrow, whoever's in there, Carson Schultz, to cut off of him versus I think they've had it flipped.
Yeah.
And that will slow down this fast break of Millard North, because Millard North they're able to go big when they need to. They can play 4 out with Derek Rollins because he plays big. And then they're able to be out there with 4 guards. They've been really, really playing at a high clip.
Once again, your score here at the half, 31-19. We're ready to start the third quarter. Once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties out of our control, but we should be good to go for the foreseeable future and for the rest of the tournament here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. All right, Millard North leads at 31-19 at the break. We're getting ready to start quarter number 3. Nick Sainer, Jay Foreman, thanks to Austin Norman and the rest of the crew back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios, making sure that, from their standpoint, we're able to fill time, and thanks for them being on call and being ready to pinch hit whenever we need them. So we're ready to start the second half of play. Bellevue West will have the basketball to start. They'll now go to the basket to our right here in the third quarter and fourth quarters, while Millard North leads by 12. At one point, Bellevue West got it back down to within single digits, got to a 7-point deficit. They've trailed by as many as 14 at one point here this afternoon. But then, once again, that shooting ability of Major Mosser and the rest of the Millard North Mustangs have proven at times to be tough to defend.
You see it here, Nick, where Millard North is coming out and doing something they haven't done in recent history. A little bit of a kind of revolving 3-2 zone. You start in 3-2, then kind of you go to a 2-3 zone. because of the lack of the outside shooting of Bellevue West Thunderbirds.
Yeah, here's Robbie Garcia with it. Far left side, it's Morrow. 3-ball on the way. That's going to be short. And the rebound tipped around a couple of times and hauled in by Deacon Courtney for Millard North as here we go with the Mustangs. Millard North Mustangs out in front by 12, just underway, third quarter. Here's Courtney, hands it off to Rahman. Rahman now to Rollins. Rollins bounces it to Gallatin. Gallatin loses possession of the basketball, and it's going to be Millard North basketball.
Yeah, you know what? A good job there. They ran it everything through Rollins. Rollins a really good job of kind of, being the decoy. A good bounce pass there to Gallatin. Just a little bit of mishap there, but they kept the control of the basketball.
On the left elbow, Courtney can't hit the layup can't get the layup to go, and here comes Bryce Johnson the other way on the right side, working on Gallatin. Spin move into the other defender. Now Johnson lost without it. Good back cut by Garcia, unable to hold on to the basketball, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Steve Klein is just hoping these guys to get going here. He's waiting for this young, explosive offensive guys or a crew of young offensive guys to get going. They have been stuck in the mud. An opportunity right there, a good bounce pass to Garcia just off his fingertips. You're not used to seeing this from Bellevue West.
Near the logo now, right side to Rollins. Rahman to Gallatin. Gallatin for Millard North with the basketball. Gallatin throws it across court. Pass taken away. Here comes Braden Morrow with being chased down by Rahman, and he is bumped with the body. It'll be 2 shots coming up for Braden Morrow.
Rahman is sending a message there. The senior right there, you got the block, the majority of body, probably frustration there because Morrow, the young sophomore, beat him to the ball and played the passing lane excellent. Now, you see Coach Etchenmiller over there telling him to keep his head in the game here because he might, you don't want one bad possession lead to another, and then you got Bryce Johnson over there trying to get
some insider information.
Yeah, man. Listen, I missed you. I need to, it's just only been halftime. We got to get reacquainted. But you know what? For Bellevue West, hasn't been pretty on offense, but a good opportunity here to get it within 10 if Morrow can hit his free throw.
31-21 now. Your score here as Morrow goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Bellevue West 5 for 7 on free throws on the day, while Millard North is 0 for 3, but it hasn't hurt them quite yet. They still lead it by 10 points as Gallatin has it at the top. Gallatin working left side. Here is Rahman. Rahman loses possession of the basketball, and it's going to be a foul on Bryce Johnson. They're going to say a reach-in foul. And Steve Klein's got to go chase down that basketball.
Yeah. Steve Klein don't like moving much. I'm right there with you, Coach Klein. Coach Klein, is really, at a loss for words because this Bellevue West team, their offense is sparked by their defense.
Yeah.
Getting hands on the ball and tips in the passing lanes, the easy 2 points, which then allows them to shoot threes more freely. He hasn't been able to get that going. One, by lack of, obviously, execution, but two, haven't been getting any calls to go his way.
Here on the right side, it's Rollins. Rollins now working against Mosser with Mosser. Now Mosser gets it poked out of the hands by Robbie Garcia, and a reach-in foul on Robbie Garcia, as that's another foul on Bellevue West.
Yeah, Coach Klein, you're used to having this type of game on Saturday night where calls like that usually kind of get looked over. But right now, Bellevue West got to continue to chop wood here. It's a good opportunity for them to really knock into this lead if they just stay with it.
So here is Deacon Courtney. He loses the basketball, and we're going to have a foul that goes against Millard North.
That was a tackle for loss.
Did he hear you? Because that referee ran right by us as soon as you said that's a foul. And
I
he
know
called
him.
a foul.
I know him. He ain't listening to me.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was a good tackle for Nick. You know how you really get a lot of tackles in the NFL?
How's that?
When they're laying on the ground, you just be the last dude to touch them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Get you some incentives, too.
Oh, is that right?
There you go.
Is that why you always finished with a 0.5 after that?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering. There's a lot of halves, not full.
Ooh.
As the three-point shot, no good by Braden Morrow, but here comes Millard North back the other way for the Millard North Mustangs. Here on the right side, it's Mosser. Mosser with it, hands it off to Rahman. Rahman working against Bryce Jackson. Now left side, Derek Rollins with the basketball. Rollins looking, dribbles towards the top of key, hands it off to Mosser. Back out to Rollins. Pass tipped around a couple of times, still up for grabs. And finally, Braden Morrow comes away with the loose ball as he throws the pass into the media row here in front by us to our right.
Yeah, Steve Klein right there, man. You wanted a little bit more effort there from Mr. Johnson. Morrow did a really good job getting the steal, getting it up court. He would have liked to see Johnson with a little bit more explosiveness. But you can go to a freshman Melcher, let Johnson sit down and get his mind right. Now, look, as clunky as Bellevue West has been, they're within 10.
Yeah.
They're historically will go on a 20-0 run if you don't watch out.
Here's Gallatin to Mosser. Mosser top of the key into the near corner. Now with it is Chambers. Down low Rollins. Layup in the lane is good.
Good job there by Derek Rollins catching it on the pass and easy 2 points. See, for a big man, he's explosive, he's fluid, he's smooth, but then also the ability to catch in traffic is actually a really good attribute as well.
Here top of the key, it's Morrow. Morrow now left side to Melcher. Melcher back to Morrow on the left wing. 4:40 to go. Third quarter, 33-21 is your score. The pass deflected, taken away. Chambers going the other way. Here comes Chambers and Mosser. He'll fire the long three on the way, and it banks in. 36-21 now your score.
Yeah, you see his dad, Mitch, over there. He said, listen, we've seen that plenty of times. You get another steak there if you call bank.
Yep. As we have a timeout on the floor. 4:21 to go, third quarter. It's now a 15-point Millard North lead. Let's step aside for 60 seconds and come right back.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Pinnacle Bank Arena. 4:16 to go in the third quarter. It's 36-21 as Bellevue West has the basketball down by 15 as they throw it to Melcher in the near side. Now to Robbie Garcia. Garcia kicks it out. Far corner three on the way. Bryce Jackson can't connect, and it's still 36-21 as Mosser collects the defensive rebound for Millard North. Here come the Mustangs. Rollins now to Gallatin. Gallatin near the logo. Gallatin will reverse course and come back the other way. Left side now, Gallatin dribbles to the right side and gives it to Chambers. Back to Gallatin. 3:43 to go, third quarter. Gallatin hesitates, dribbling in the lane, looking around. No look, three ball. Mosser got it.
Yeah, he knew that was in before it went through the hoop. Sometimes when you're a really good shooter, you need to be sparked by a little bit of luck. That bank in three allowed him to shoot that one real free.
Here on the right side, it's Morrow. Braden Morrow with it for Bellevue West with the T-Birds trailing by 18. Here's Jackson. Bryce Jackson out to Robbie Garcia. Garcia crossing over. Garcia just with 4 points. Make it 6 points as he gets a layup to fall.
Yeah, Coach Steve Klein needs more of that because Garcia being able to play from the wing down low through people is going to be an ultimate X factor.
On the right side, here is Rahman. Rahman with the basketball. Dribbles now top of the key. Working on Bryce Jackson. Rahman hesitates in the lane. The right-handed layup, no good. Rebound tipped around and corralled by Garcia, who just traveled with the basketball.
Yeah, you know what happens with teams, these high-level teams, they defend you even on misses. To get little tricky turnovers like that, Rahman faked like he was going to try to guard Garcia. Garcia was going to pass it, tried to pull it back. Unfortunate turnover there.
So baseline inbound here as they get it into Rollins. Rollins now with it, Gallatin to Lance Smith inside. Rollins now with the basketball for Millard North. Good cut by Smith, able to hit the layup from the left side.
Yeah, good patience there by Derek Rollins. Got bumped off his spot there by Garcia. Good back cut there by Lance Smith.
Pass left side, it's Melcher. Now to Garcia. 41-23 is your score. Three ball. Garcia missed it badly, and the rebound is corralled by Derek Rollins, and Steve Klein's going, what are we doing over there? As Lance Smith throws it down low, shot blocked, and saved from going out of bounds by Bellevue West. Good job defensively by the T-Birds. Here comes Bryce Jackson. Jackson pushing the pace. It goes off of the defender, and it will be Bellevue West Thunderball.
Yeah, the one thing you don't realize when you're a young kid out there, a young freshman or sophomore, is just maturity and physicality of the older players. And I think obviously Johnson and Morrow and those guys are getting Melcher are getting on the job training of how physical it is to play in Class A basketball.
Here's a layup in the lane. Good by Bryce Jackson as he's going to go to the line to shoot one more shot. He makes it a 41-25 ball game.
Yeah, you know, they're down by 18 and really they were just down by 10.
Yeah.
And then obviously, you know, you go on a lull of going scoreless of over 2 minutes for Bellevue West. So, well, normally that's Bellevue West that goes on the run that Millard North just went 9 straight points. It's good to get a 2-point play, possibly a 3-point play to stop that run.
2:09 to go, third quarter. It's 41-25. Bryce Jackson at the line to try one more, and it is no good. So still 41-25. Here is Rahaman. Rahaman with the basketball, top of the key. In for the first time tonight or this afternoon is Smith for Bellevue West. That is number
20,
number 10. It is for Bellevue West, Kyrie Smith. A 3-ball on the right side by Braden Morrow is good, and it's 43-28.
Oh, wow. Good play there by Morrow. Transition 3, just like you practice it. Nothing but net. Good job there pressing Major Mossa there. Almost a big-time play with a steal and a save. I think they got a little substitute issue here, but you know what? The Bellevue West, they're going a little bit deeper in their bench. They know right now you want to get this within striking distance, Nick, within the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So they're down by 15 right now. They want to make sure that they get it hopefully within 10 points.
So Millard North will inbound it to Rahaman. 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. 43-28 is your score. Here is Gallatin getting pressured defensively by Smith. Gallatin now right side to Mosser. Mosser passes it to Rahaman. Rahaman guarded by Garez James. Pass inside, and we have a foul called on Braden Morrow.
Yeah, Braden Morrow got caught there in a pin down and had Major Mosser, you know, he was in a bad situation, in a very advantageous position for Major Mosser. And when you look at the two athletes, Major Mosser 6'6", Morrow barely 6 foot tall. You had to foul him there.
Yeah, here is Mosser. Mosser trying to get it left side. Gallatin. Gallatin might have gotten away with a walk there on the left wing, but instead Rollins now with the basketball down low. Rollins gets it poked away. I don't know how that wasn't a double dribble. Now in the lane, Mosser misses the easy floater. Bodies on the floor. That should have been a foul, and they're going to call it out of bounds instead. It'll be Millard North basketball.
Yeah, they're letting them play here. And if
Kyrie Smith got undercut.
Yeah, Coach Klein there, man, he's chilling. I mean, I know they like to play physical in the way they usually play, but you know, it was a good move or a good hustle there by Smith. It wasn't rewarded because he got tackled there for a loss.
So Mosser inbounds it now to Gallatin. Gallatin with the basketball, 43-28. Millard North with a 15-point lead. Gallatin, Rollins, 3-ball on the way, missed it, and the offensive rebound, Lance Smith. As he steps into the lane, that's going to be a travel on Lance Smith.
Yeah, Lance Smith tried to reposition himself, and he forgot to keep his pivot foot set. Travel there. Physical game here. Very, very physical game. They're letting them play through 50-50 balls. Obviously, these refs know, these teams know each other. So games like this are generally, I wouldn't say overly physical, but they're going to be physical enough to where, you know, it's going to be borderline where you got to make sure you keep it under control.
47 seconds to go, third quarter, 43-28 is your score as Bellevue West has the basketball down by 15. Bryce Jackson in the lane, looking around, gets to Robbie Garcia, back to Jackson. Jackson now crosses over right to left. Jackson had his defender slip. Now kicking it out, or trying to kick it out, was Bellevue West. Here's Robbie Garcia in the lane with 8 on the possession, the bucket and the foul. Robbie Garcia going the line to shoot one more.
Yeah, you get it within 13 now, 23 seconds left. You don't want to give up a score. Potentially could get it within 12. And we mentioned it before, Nick, where how did you come back? You want Garcia, to play, let's just say top down. Start out on the wing, and then by force, driving through guys, or by the play action, get down closer to the hoop. By doing that, he is able to hit them on the run, per se, with his physicality and his work both times they've done it.
One free throw coming up for Garcia. He drains it. It's 43-31 with 23 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here is Gallatin. Gallatin with the basketball. He'll cross the timeline as Mosser now has it right in front of us on the left side. Mosser with the basketball. He throws it to Gallatin. Gallatin standing on the end of the logo. 7 seconds to go in the third quarter. And we have a foul called on Kyrie Smith. That is going to be the fourth team foul on Bellevue West.
That's what you want there, right? You want to put Bellevue or Millard North in a position where they can't run their action that they wanted. They were going to try to get it to Derek Rollins off a pick and roll. You stopped them from doing
Bless
that.
you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's right. Bless you, Jay. All right, here we go. Sideline inbound. As Rollins gets it, they fake the handoff in the lane. Rollins way too easy on the layup. There's the horn, and at the end of the third quarter,
Steve Klein and the coaching staff is upset. They've probably had 7 or 8 easy busts on pick and rolls in the pin downs and in the kind of the wheel action, right? Just an old school UCLA cut off of Derek Rollins. He read it perfectly. 2 points. I'm telling you, these sneaky 2 points at the end of the quarter. Obviously, Millard North has a pretty sizable lead, but we saw it earlier with Junction and Elm Creek being able to extend the lead, and you kind of grab back the momentum right before. And it's sneaky because you grab the momentum right before they go to a long timeout.
Yeah. We got to go to break. 30 seconds, and we're back at the end of the third quarter, 45-31 here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in to Pinnacle Bank Arena. 45-31 is your score. Millard North out in front by 14 points as we begin the final stanza of play. They inbounded here, and Mosser with it to Gallatin. Gallatin with the basketball near the logo. Gallatin has it, passes it right side. Now down low, trying to get it to Rollins, unable to get it to him, and so Carson Schultz gets the steal for Bellevue West. Up the floor we roll with Bryce Jackson. Jackson in the lane. The shot is called off, and we're going to have a foul down low on Rahman.
Yeah, that was a good job by Bryce Johnson.
What did I say?
You said Jackson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I apologize to Bryce Johnson.
But that turnover there caused that they were trying to get it to Rollins was caused by Bryce Johnson. Why, Nick? Ball pressure. They can't get an easy pass in there to the big man.
Robbie Garcia taken away on a steal. Lance Smith going the other way. It's going to be out of bounds on the poke by Bryce Johnson, and it will be Millard North basketball.
Yeah, Coach Edson Miller has got to get his sideline under control because he said the physicality of that player a little upset. But ultimately right there, Robbie Garcia was doing what you don't want to do in a big game. Too much. Behind the back in traffic, didn't work out.
Here's Gallatin, passes out. Rahman for three, short, and the rebound collected by Millard North. It went through the arms of Bryce Johnson, that is. And now here Millard North gets another crack at it. Lance Smith down to Rollins. It went off his leg, and it will be Bellevue West basketball.
Yeah, good. I mean, a good defense there. Bellevue West was caught in transition. They were able to rally and then force Millard North into an unforced area. Almost too much passing. Would you ever say you'd obviously like to see more in high school basketball, oversharing the basketball?
On the right side, it's Bryce Johnson. Johnson in the lane. The layup, no good. But it'll be a foul, and Johnson goes to the line to shoot.
Yeah, Rahman doesn't like that. He felt like he got fouled down here on the other end. Johnson did a really good job there of driving, got in the lane with 2 feet, kind of gallop step up into the body. You forced the ref to call it, even though it was probably close to a clean block.
So Bryce Johnson at the line to shoot 2.
Good job, Nick. You know,
I've been notified on the text line that I need to stop bullying you. So I wasn't aware that
you're a bully. You're a Pius X bully. That's what you are.
Speaking of Pius X, we will see them tomorrow afternoon at 1:30.
I'm a little too old to strike back the way I'd like to, but
do I sense some friction, some tension?
No, you would.
7:04 to go, fourth quarter. It is 45-33 after 2 made free throws for Bellevue West, and so it'll be Millard North basketball here in just a moment as they inbound it to Gallatin. Gallatin across the floor to Mosser. Mosser now. He'll take a couple of dribbles with his left hand, hesitate, get past the timeline with a couple seconds to spare. Now Mosser picks it up on the left wing, gives it to Rahman. Rahman guarded by Kiari Smith. Kariri Smith with it, forces him to give it up to Gallatin. 3-ball, good. Nice shot by Gallatin.
Corian Gallatin, who was like the all-time leading scorer in Fremont, just came over to Millard North to transition to more of a point guard role. In-depth shooter as well.
On the right side, it's Smith with it for Bellevue West. Bryce Johnson with it on the left side, working on Lance Smith. The jumper, good shot by Bryce Johnson.
You know, the one thing about it is when they move the ball, right, skip passes, the ability or want to from Millard North to close out doesn't allow for any open threes.
Yeah, here on the top of the key as Bellevue West stole the pass from Millard North, a Smith 3-ball, and he drains it. It's 48-38.
Okay, right here, this is what you really thinking. This is what Steve Klein wanted. What would he say? Within 6 minutes, you want to get down by 10.
That's exactly where they're at. 5:57 to play. Down by 10 is Bellevue West. Millard North with the basketball. On the right side, it's Lance Smith. Smith to Rollins. Rollins hands it off to Smith. Smith kicks it out near corner. 3-ball, Major Mosser. He can't get that one to go. The putback by Derek Rollins.
Good job there by Derek Rollins against the smaller Bryce Johnson. There was nature versus nurture. Robbie Garcia said, man, you got to move him off of there. The one thing about Derek Rollins, he is powerful.
Yeah.
He's explosive, but he's powerful. And so what that means is when he's jumping, he has a good core and all that stuff. He doesn't get knocked off of his wherever he wants. He's a big old kid. I would probably try to get him to play tight end. He'd be like a little Antonio Gates, but I mean, he's a heck of a ball player.
We have a full timeout on the floor. Let's step aside for 30 seconds and come right back with 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchased from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sainert alongside Jay Foreman as it is Bellevue West basketball after the Michael Etzel-Miller Millard North timeout as Bryce Johnson has the ball at the top of the key. Bryce with it, right side, 3-ball on the way for Bell West, will not fall on the attempt by Schultz, and it's going to be rebounded by Millard North going the other way. Here comes up the floor Derek Rollins. Rollins with the basketball. He turns, gives it to Gallatin. Gallatin, one-handed pass out right side to Lance Smith. Smith now to Rollins. Rollins looking, fakes left, goes right now, works to Smith. Smith lost the basketball, and they're going to call a foul on Bellevue West.
Steve Klein feels like he hasn't got a call all day. Look at him. He's like a disappointed dad when you used to miss curfew.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, really, these little, I guess, quirky, I'll call them 50-50 calls, Nick, have been really going Millard North ways. This is not saying anything about the refs.
Yeah.
But those are run makers for Bellevue West. That's what they lived and died on here in the past.
Mosser for 3, far side, unable to get it to go, but Derek Rollins once again tips the rebound out and is able to keep the possession alive for Millard North. Here is Gallatin in the lane, layup no good, but he was fouled on the dribble drive. Derek Rollins with a double-double, 10 points, 10 boards.
Yeah, he's affected this game, and that's what we talked about. Bryson Ball, the ability to play in a team concept. Derek Rollins is right there with Bryson Ball, and obviously Derek Rollins has been in the state championship the last 2 years, wants to win it this year, right? And he's got a big challenge here to finish this game and potentially seeing Bryson Ball. But being able to show up in a game like this, understanding Mosser was getting going, understanding Ramahan is getting going, Corion's starting to get going, and you to be able to play a secondary role, but actually your outcome is just as important. 10 points, 10 rebounds, and you got to think you got Mosser with 16, Gallatin with 10, Rahman with 6, and then here's Derek Rollins here with 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. And so that lets you know when you're here to win a championship, you're not thinking about yourself.
Here on the left side, it is Morrow. Morrow with the basketball. He dribbles, throws it down the floor. Great snag out of the air by Bryce Johnson in the lane. He puts up a tough shot, and he is fouled. So Bryce Johnson will go to the line to shoot 2 shots with 4:42 to go in the fourth.
You know, the one thing that's different this year versus years in the past, and obviously I think this is a little bit more seasoned group, kind of worked out well for Millard North, is, you know, you have Mosser at 6'6", who's physical enough to play on the wing, and then he can play like in the zone right there. You got Derek Rollins, then you got Deacon Courtney, who's 6'8". So you got some power, you got speed, and then you see Mosser from last year to this year, he can get downhill off the bounce a little bit better than he has in the past. So everybody's gotten better.
Both free throws good at the line by Bryce Johnson, and so it's now 52-40. Bellevue West needs a couple of stops defensively, most importantly on the glass especially. They're getting out-rebounded 29-11 today.
Yeah.
Here is Gallatin. Gallatin across the timeline, guarded by Bryce Johnson, as Gallatin spin moves on Johnson, now backs it out to the logo. 4:26 to play in the fourth quarter. As on the right side, poked away from behind. Great defensive play by Bryce Johnson. Up the floor, here comes Bryce. He lost the basketball, saves it from into the far corner. Here's right side, it is Melcher. Melcher bounces it in. Garcia goes right at the defender. He gets the layup to fall. It's a 52-42 game.
We talk about playing from outside in with Garcia 3 times. He's done it this second half. All of them have been 2 points or more. Great play there by the senior.
Here's Mosser, passes right side, Rahaman. Rahaman gets bumped, no whistle in the lane. Great dump off. Rollins layup too strong, and the rebound's corralled by Garcia. Here comes Robbie Garcia to Morrow. Morrow, dribble drive, working on Smith, and that's going to be a blocking foul on Lance Smith.
Good job there by Morrow, because he knew Lance Smith got over there, could potentially draw the charge, slithered to the left, dropped it off there. Good job there, but this is where Bellevue West can, they can make up this 10-point deficit. They get 2 points here and get a couple stops. They'll be right back in this game.
3 minutes, 43 seconds to go, fourth quarter. Here is the inbound pass. It goes out of bounds, and Steve Klein, he looks up into the sky, claps his hands in frustration as that's another turnover. That's number 13 on the day for Bellevue West.
Well, you got to think about it. Bellevue West was high pressure, high turnover versus turnovers in the past. And so this is what I talked about when you have a young team, not only inexperienced, but young, especially at the guard position, a lot of unforced errors, but you just got to play through it and you got to coach through it.
Here is Rahaman. Rahaman looking for help, finds Lance Smith. Now to Gallatin. Gallatin with it directly in front of us. Gallatin stands at the logo. 3 minutes, 27 seconds to go, fourth quarter. It's a 10-point Millard North lead. The winner gets Papillion La Vista South on Friday. Here, kicking it right side. Mosser, 3-ball on the way. And it bounces around the iron a couple of times and does not go. And here comes Bryce Johnson pushing the pace. Johnson dumps it off to a trailing Garcia. And that's going to be a charging call on Robbie Garcia.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. Garcia kind of fumbled the ball there. I think Steve Klein would have liked Bryce Johnson to attack the hoop. I mean, and one thing about younger players, we're seeing it, right? We've seen it last week with younger players in the girls' tournament. Keeping your head in these type of moments. They aren't used to this type of pressure. It's almost more mental battle than versus the battle who they're playing, right? Playing Millard North in the regular season is different than playing here, because what happens with athletes is they get this thing called expectations in their mind. They think about what could happen, what both good and bad, and they haven't played the game, and it can make you play out of sorts a little bit. And so that's where you see some of these young guys really struggling with it. Oh, they got lucky there, Nick.
Yeah.
But hey, Mosser went over the line.
Yeah.
But he played it off pretty smooth. That's kind of like when you tripped outside and you didn't fall down. You played it pretty smooth.
Easy.
He did a really good job there because he was on the line. It must have been.
I almost snapped an ankle. I mean, that ankle went. I stepped. On the side of my foot.
I saw it, and the security guard saw it.
My ankle bone hit the concrete.
Well, here's what they'll say: your ability to recover was extraordinary.
See, I know what your intent was there.
What? The intent.
3:09 to go, fourth quarter.
It was funny, but if you would have laid on the ground, you would have been still there.
I might have had a lawsuit against Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Yeah, I would have fell down there with you.
52-42 is your score. 3:09 to go in the fourth quarter. We just had a brief 30-second Millard North Mustang timeout as they had to call a timeout. Major Mosser did, unable to inbound that play. And so we'll try it again here. 3:09 to play in the ball game. The winner gets top-seeded Papillion La Vista South on Friday. Here's Mosser. He gets it in. Now Rahaman. Rahaman to Gallatin. Gallatin will slowly jog it up the floor. Now he'll turn on the Jets, throw it down the floor to Lance Smith. Smith cross-court pass, and it goes to the scores table. Turnover.
Yeah, Coach Essemiller is upset with Lance Smith. The one time they want you to go, you had an easy lane to the hoop, trying to overpass. It's kind of catch-22, right? When you have a 10-point lead, you want to be upset, because he's oversharing the ball, but also you want him to make the smart play, so you don't overcoach him there. Now you got Chambers coming in. Now you got Moss moving up. Now they're trying to run this 3-2 zone. So it starts out in the 3-2 zone with Mosser in the middle, and then he moves down to a 2-3 zone, trying to confuse this young Bellevue West lineup.
3 ball on the way from Melcher, no good, and Rollins gets the defensive rebound. I think Steve Klein was going, what are we doing shooting that ball that early in the shot clock? Now on the right side, it's Mosser with it for Millard North. Top of the key, Rahaman and Millard North up by 10 with the basketball. Here is Gallatin. Gallatin with the dribble on the right side, with it on the right wing, crossing over again, now to Chambers, back to Gallatin. 12 seconds on the possession, 2:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Here on the right side, Gallatin to Chambers. Pass almost taken away. Now Rahaman on the dribble. He's fouled from behind by Melcher.
Yeah, good drive there by Rahaman, right? Late in the shot clock, caught the defender from Bellevue West in a negative closeout. I think that was Poirier. Got to the rack. He knew he was going to get some contact. Good job of trying to finish through contact. Good, strong finish there from the guard.
2 minutes, 18 seconds to go. Fourth quarter. First free throw is no good.
Okay, well then, back in the day, Nick, if you foul somebody hard, they missed one of the free throws. It was a good foul.
Yeah.
So for Bellevue West, it's a good foul. You're still within 10. Worst case scenario, you're down by 11 points. You got to just start executing here the last 2 minutes, and Steve Klein and his staff has got to do a really good job, right? I think you need a couple possessions where you score quick. This game in the momentum will change drastically.
Second free throw goes for Rahaman. Here comes Bellevue West down by 11. Here's Bryce Johnson. Johnson back out Melcher. Fires the 3 on the way and unable to hit. And Rahaman clears the glass for Millard North as we are under 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Gallatin with the basketball. He has it at the logo. As Gallatin, guarded by Melcher, down by 11 is Bellevue West. Gallatin with the basketball, though, picks up his dribble, throws to the right side. Now it's Derek Rollins. Rollins to Gallatin. Gallatin slowing it down, back to Rahaman. Rahaman, three-pointer on the way, and there's the dagger.
Yeah.
And with 1:40 to go in the fourth quarter, it's 56-42.
That was it. Rahaman has really progressed since last year. Last year, he wouldn't have shot it. Shot it with 1,000% confidence, nothing but net. You get the fans up behind us are getting up, leaving, trying to get.
Yeah,
it's you see some fans from Millard North, starting to exit, trying to get an early good look at the highway, heading back home, but. That was a big shot by him. Good ball movement, good patience, right? And then when you think about it at the end of the night, right, you got Mosser with 16, Gallatin with 10, Rahaman with 10, Derek Rollins with 10, Chambers off the bench with 6. That's what every coach's dream. Everybody scoring, everybody playing as a team.
And now we have a Michael Elsa-Miller timeout on the floor, charged to the Millard North Mustangs. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds, and wrap the final 1 minute and 19 seconds of this one up. It's 56-42, Millard North with a 14-point lead.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking all the top brands, including Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Manitow pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership, plus score big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has it all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location, and they can't wait to get you set up for the summer.
Attention Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Millard North holding on to a 14-point lead in the final minute, 14 seconds as Gallatin has the basketball. He gets it out to Rahaman. Rahaman back to Gallatin. Gallatin with it. Working left side, it's Rahman. He drives into the lane. The layup in the lane is good, and it's now 58-42, and we are under a minute to go in the ball game.
I think Rahman was like, man, you're going to let me drive up in here without getting hit. Easy 2 points there for the senior guard.
Here's Morrow to Bryce Johnson. He can't get the three to fall, and it is going to be Millard North basketball as Mosser has it, throws it up the floor to Rahman. Rahman with Millard North leading 58-42. In the lane, Rollins layup good on the alley-oop, and it's going to be 60-42 with no shot clock remaining.
You know, Derek Rollins, a power player, got good hang time. Excellent 2 points there.
Here in the lane, Bryce Johnson gets the layup to fall. It's going to be a 30-second timeout to Steve Klein and Bellevue West. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. We said this earlier. Actually, we said it last week. All the weeks are kind of blended together here. We said it last week, Jay. Some of the best teams, what they're able to do is close out the opponent in late game situations. What if I told you Millard North went on an 8-0 run to close this one out before that Bryce Johnson layup right there?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've done this. I've done it all game. We've seen it with Papillion La Vista South, right? To be able to do the same thing. Another thing they're able to do is make big-time plays when you need it under pressure. And I think it's this right here is just a matter of styles, right? Whereas Bellevue West, their offense is coming off their defense, and then also the inexperience of having – look, right now when you look out there, right, you got a junior, a sophomore that had never played varsity, another sophomore, a true freshman, and a senior, Robbie Garcia, who's had a really, really great career. So it's tough right now. But then also, you know, the program's in good hands. And you can't win it every year.
No.
I know Bellevue West fans think you got to win it every year. For Coach Etzenmiller, right, taking over, you know, both meeting Coach Klein, first-year coaches thinking, hey, I can start my career with a championship. Klein was able to beat him with probably Arup and Jackson, a little bit more seasoned group. Now that's a big hump for him, I think, you know, obviously the mental and obviously for the program. But you got to reset because the team that they play come Friday look dang good here just at 1 o'clock, man. It's going to be a good game.
So we did have a foul on Bellevue West. They fouled Rahman. Rahman will come out of the game as Rahman will shoot the free throws. Robbie Garcia, who is a senior, just checked out of the game for the final time.
Yeah, man, he's had a storied career, man. He's been out here since he's a freshman, been in the state tournament every year. He's been associated with Bellevue West. He's won back-to-back championships and was unfortunately on the short end in the first round, probably not seeing territory for him. I want to say this, though, you know, for the next game with Millard North and Papillion La Vista South, or just at Bellevue West. Actually, Bellevue West beat Millard North second game of the season by 10. Millard North bounced back, beat them by 20 about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Papillion La Vista South now, or actually Millard North Papillion La Vista South, beat Bellevue or beat Millard North by 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting it mixed up here, so it's going to be a good game, and it's going to be styles make fights, and they're going to have to play the game of their life come Friday afternoon.
That's it. Your final score in our second Class A quarterfinal: Millard North 62, Bellevue West 44. Millard North will advance to play Papillion La Vista South, the number 1 seed in Class A, on Friday at 1:30 p.m. right here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. That'll do it for this session. We'll send it back to the station for an extended break and then pick back up at 6 p.m. as we have Omaha Westside against Lincoln Southwest, and then the nightcap, Lincoln North Star against Lincoln Southeast. Those are the 2 games that we have remaining in our day 1 coverage of the boys state basketball tournament. But for now, Jay Foreman, Nick Sainer signing off from Pinnacle Bank Arena. Millard North wins it 62-44, and they punch their ticket to the Class A semifinals here from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking all the top brands, including Can-Am, Honda,